Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back into the Bears Den, an NFL podcast with the Chicago Bears First Focus. I'm your host, Alex, and today here to talk trade deadline news. Not thrilled with what the Bears have done, and some other NFC North teams making some moves. A lot of trades around the league, and we will go ahead and get into it. So, some notable trades that kind of happened recently. Today, yesterday. Big one. Browns have traded Zadarius Smith to the Detroit Lions. One that really kind of um, it's a really big one, right? Because Detroit is currently the NFC favorite. They look like the best team in the league, in my opinion. And people were wondering how are they going to look without Aiden Hutchinson. They've looked fine. They've really kind of dominated who they've played since he went down, and now they go and they get another elite pass rusher. So, um, really kind of scary stuff for a team that's already first in the conference. Um, the Bears traded away running back Khalil Herbert to the Cincinnati Bengals. Herbert, 1,000-yard rusher. Really unhappy about this, to be honest. I knew that the Bears were going to trade him. He wasn't being used. They clearly, whether it was he wasn't a fit for Shane Waldron's offense or, they just felt like DeAndre Swift and Roshan Johnson were better. Um, I knew that he was going to be traded, but trading him for a seventh round pick to me is it's an absolute asinine decision by Ryan Poles. I would have liked to see Khalil Herbert get paired into a deal for someone else, perhaps a guard. There was a lot of talk about Cowboys potentially moving Zach Martin, especially with Dak Prescott going down this week, for a few weeks. Could the Bears potentially get a guy like Zach Martin, a guard who could really help protect Caleb Williams and help ensure that he's developing? And Dallas really needed a running back. And so, Bears could have packaged Khalil Herbert, maybe a pick or another player or something, and Nate Davis in there to get a guy like Zach Martin, or Bears were in need of a pass rusher, and that wasn't done. So trading 1,000-yard rusher away for a seventh round pick. I mean, if I'm a Bengals fan, I'm in heaven right now, right? Like this is crazy. You're getting a really efficient running back, a solid running back, and the Bears really have no plan, it seems, because um, the offensive line is severely banged up, and even when it was healthy, it hasn't been great this year. So Caleb Williams is on pace for being sacked sixth most times out of any quarterback in history, and our general manager has decided to just ride it out with this roster for the rest of the year. So I don't really know what the Bears are doing. Doesn't really seem like there's a plan. Really frustrating to watch. And it's really frustrating to watch, a team like Minnesota lose a top, um, tackle in the league in Christian Darrisaw, and then immediately turn around and trade for a tackle like Cam Robinson. It's like these other teams in the division for the Bears know what they're doing and have a plan, and they got better after the trade deadline, and we got worse. So Ryan Poles, what are we doing? Other than that, Packers traded Preston Smith to the Steelers. I'm just seeing that now. Um, that's interesting. That's really interesting, actually. Um, Mike Williams from the Jets over to the Steelers. We knew that the Steelers were going to try and get a receiver, and then Jonathan Mingo, receiver, over to the Cowboys. That's an interesting one. Dallas is trading for a receiver instead of a running back. I don't know. And then obviously there's some other trades as well, and then we know the big ones like Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, and so on and so forth. So um, not a huge trade deadline compared to some years past. Not a huge not a ton of huge names. Um, just really kind of annoying to me that the Bears seem to have a lack of a plan, um, because they've lost two straight, and the tough part of the season hasn't even hit yet. And so now it's like, we're injured. The offensive line's not playing well. Quarterback is struggling because of it. And now other teams in the division are getting better, and we're not. So really frustrating. If I'm a Lions fan, I'm super happy. If I'm a Vikings fan, I'm super happy. Um, it's I don't know what the Bears are doing. It's weird too because in the past 2 years that Ryan Poles has been the GM for the Bears, he's always been active at the trade deadline. He traded for Chase Claypool his first year as GM. And say what you will about that trade, but at the time that was something that the Bears needed. They needed receiver help, and he swung, and it was a miss, right? That happens, but he swung. And then last year traded for Montez Sweat, and that was a huge hit. So why are we not doing that? Why are we not trying to get like a Max Crosby or a Myles Garrett or a Zadarius Smith or whatever, right? Because we have the quarterback. We have the quarterback. We have the running backs. We have the receivers. We have pieces. We have good secondary. Why are we not trying to get better at the spots we're weakest at? I don't know. I don't know. So that's it for today's video, guys. A little bit of a shorter video, but just wanted to get on here and talk about, the trade deadline a little bit and how I'm not really thrilled with what the Bears did. But that's where I'm at. And, as always, I appreciate you guys listening, tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. We will see you in tomorrow's video. Bear down. Peace.